Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Chris Pepalinski movie blog. Today's discussion will be about the movie Insidious Chapter 4. The fourth installment of the Insidious franchise, but second chronologically, since it's a prequel to the first two Insidious movies and taking place just shortly after the events of the third Insidious movie. The story deals with a psychic named by Elise Rains, who happens to be a very gifted psychic who sees, spirit realms in this place called, the further where, spirits and demons, lie. And of course, in this particular installment, it deals with Elise's, backstory, including like an abusive, father, and of course, it introduces, her mother and her younger brother, uh, Christian, who, because of circumstances in her past, she was forced to like, leave behind because of the abuse that she endured, and also introduces other members of her family who also happen to have similar psychic abilities as she does. I mean, I would say what makes Insidious great, cause that they're very like low budget movies, like the first Insidious budget movies, I think uh, like $1.5 million or something like that, and this one was only $10 million. But what makes it great that they managed to make a profit, and it seems to make the phenomenon of that low budget horror movies can be quite successful at the box office. So I would say, of course, I didn't find Insidious scary, since I think nowadays horror movies tend to be more comical, more for like jump scares than actual, horror and scares. But that's just my personal opinion when it comes to the genre of horror movies. But I would say it was still nonetheless enjoyable, since Lin Shaye, who plays the older version of Elise, does a very exceptional job, playing the character very well. Someone who's like is like, I guess in a sense, tormented by her psychic gifts, but in a sense, she does her best, to embrace her abilities the best that she can. And I thought it was also cool, you got to see at least different stages of her life, like when she's a kid, and then when she's a teenager, which I thought was pretty cool. And I would say that you know in this particular installment of the Insidious franchise, it kind of ties into the first two movies, in an interesting kind of way, which in a sense kind of brings it full circle. I mean, I guess maybe there's a possibility they could do a fifth one that could continue from where the second movie left off, but I guess that would be the only direction they could go. But I guess time will tell. What direction the Insidious franchise will go. I guess for those that have seen the previous Insidious movies, they can feel free to share and the video, and feel free to comment what they thought about it. I'd like to hear any feedback that people have to offer. And thanks again for listening.